Hi there and welcome to A Culinary Journey. I'm Luca Paris, and this culinary journey kind of stays local. That's right, we're going to talk about local. A local farm like Stonewall Farms and a local producer of a really cool product, a true nut. You're going to tell you all about the almonds they have. So I thought we should use some of Stonewall Farms greens and tomatoes to make a wonderful peach dressing and salad with some almonds on top. We'll talk to you about those. And then I'm going to do an almond crusted fish with a Framboise sauce. Those are going to be our two items on this culinary journey, which stays local here in Keene, New Hampshire. And your culinary journey starts now. Hey everybody, welcome back to a nutty show. Woo! Yes, that's right. We're going to talk a little bit about nuts, and Steve's with us. Steve Ryder. How's it going, Steve?
Hey, Luca. Great. How are you?
And Kathy's with us from Stonewall Farms. Steve, let's talk a little bit about, we just panned in on some of the product that you have here. You've started creating your own gourmet snacks.
Yeah.
And they're almonds.
Yes, and I thought it was great to have Kathy here today because Stonewall Farm was really the catalyst for the almonds. I had done a volunteer work at a sap gathering contest.
Okay. And
sap is maple syrup, and I always liked cooking with almonds, and I thought mixing almonds with maple syrup might be a good treat.
And it turned out to be a lot bigger than just a treat. I mean, you started making this at home and then creating a business out of it, right?
Yeah, it was originally I wanted to teach my daughter about making money, saving money, being philanthropic. I have my neighbor who's here with me today, and thought I wanted to be in one store, do a fundraising at Stonewall Farm. And all of a sudden, we're in 40 stores now. They're selling pretty well, and I'm having a great time.
It's amazing, amazing. And this is done totally local.
Totally local.
Of course, the almonds have to be brought in from outside, right?
Almonds are shipped in from California.
Right.
We have two local nonprofits that work with us on it. First Course, a culinary school, actually produces the almonds, and New Hope, New Horizons packages them for us.
That's incredible. Well, what we're going to do today is take one of these. I think we're going to use the maple coconut, right? We're going to put those on top of a salad that we're making. Kathy, with greens from Stonewall Farms, that pretty much produces stuff year-round, right? I mean, I know it's got a great growing season in the summer and the fall, but year-round you have stuff. You have a hothouse and things like that.
Right.
Too?
We have a solar geodesic dome, just brand
what was
new.
That? I'm sorry, what was
that? Solar geodesic dome.
That's easy for you.
So, I know. And I've said it so many times. So, and this will be the first year we'll actually be doing a year-round CSA.
That's
awesome.
It
is exciting to be able to talk about local, to be able to provide that to the community year-round is critical, and it's part of our mission. So
that's awesome. And organic? Is it?
We are not certified
organic.
We are all the same organic practices. We do have an organic dairy that is certified as well, but we do follow all the same practices, and that's totally what we encourage, is just for people to get to know their farmer and their practices and embrace what is important to you. That is absolutely awesome. And what's great when you're buying local, even if it's, I mean, you're not certified, but it's as close as it can be to being certified organic. But the big key too is buying local is the most important thing. Right. And taking care of the community in which you're in, and getting products that are right from the garden to your door, right? Right to your plate. I mean, the closer to the plate, the better. Well, what we're going to make today, we're going to start off with that lettuce or the greens you brought in. We're going to make a salad, and we're going to use some of your tomatoes too. You have some orange tomatoes and some pearl drop yellow tomatoes, lemon tomatoes. And we got some baby carrots here, so we have a whole nice variety of things. I'm going to add some peaches to it because I think a really interesting vinaigrette that's going to go well with the almonds we're going to put on the top would be a nice balsamic peach vinaigrette, a little tartness, a little sweetness, kind of nice combination of flavors. And since I don't have a peeler, probably gave it up on my last show, we're going to do a little julienne of carrots to go in here. We'll put on top. So now, how many years you been over, Kathy, at Stonewall Farm? I've been working for the farm for 5 years.
For 5 years?
The farm has been in existence as a nonprofit since 1994.
And you're the executive director?
I am.
Awesome.
Yes, yeah.
It's grown a lot since then, though, huh? Even in the last 5
It
years?
evolves. It
Yeah.
evolves. There's just been so much that's changed. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting things, and there's a lot of challenges, as you know, with the milk industry and the milk crisis and stuff. But we're organic, and we're getting through it, and it's an incredible place for the community and families to come visit. So.
And we should, yeah, and if you have an opportunity, you should definitely do that. Even just to visit, the kids could take a look at the farm and things like that.
Yeah, it's open from dawn to dusk, no gate fee, 130 acres of conservation land, nature trails, people can just come visit, yeah.
It's great educational programs there, and
I think that's a big key,
on the
too.
weekend. Yeah.
Just educating the kids on that type of farm.
And it's all about where your food comes from,
Right.
which is really important.
Good way to learn.
Yep.
Now, one of the things I want to talk about too is utilizing everything. I'm sure if you're into farming or even just into just taking care of the world and recycling and what have you, recycling goes even to this point here. This is great stock ingredients. I mean, we don't have to throw all this away. We keep it. We use it in a stock later on. If you're at home, you have a plastic Ziploc bag. You keep it in your freezer. Throw all your little vegetable peelings in there. Keep them frozen for a while. Then you pull them out because you're not going to do the quantity that I might do in the restaurant or in a big commercial kitchen. But you can pull them out later, add water to them, and you have an amazing stock that you made yourself from ingredients that you didn't throw away. So it's just one more use to have in that. Okay, so let's get on to our salad. What I've done is I've grilled a couple of peaches, poached them first, and then grilled a couple of peach halves. And we have some almonds that we're going to add. Oh, that goes to the top of that. That's for our other thing. Grilled a couple of peaches. We're going to put some balsamic vinegar in here. You know what I'm missing here? I'm just missing a cover for that. That's always good to have later on. And then we're going to put a little bit of sugar into this. And we're going to just let that sit for a second. I got some nice flavors in there. We have our tossed salad. What we're going to need to do is take a quick little break. We're going to come back. We're going to try some of your almonds.
Great.
And I'm going to make that dressing. And then what we're going to do is put together a fish dish using basso. It's a light, flaky white fish. We're going to put an almond crust over the top. And we're going to give it a beautiful framboise sauce using a raspberry wine, a raspberry beer from Belgium. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Hi, I'm Luca Paris, and I'm back on our culinary journey. I'm here with Steve and Kathy. Guys, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for
we have
having us.
wine in you. We have a lot of wine in you. That's
Yeah,
like the third or fourth.
we already started with white, now we're on the
Yeah,
red.
now you're on to the reds. It's a long show. Well, we're making a
We're
salad.
gonna need something to, eat
You know
to
what
absorb
you
it,
need?
right?
You need some almonds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some
That'd be
maple
great.
flavored almonds to enjoy.
that's
So,
a
do
great
you eat your
idea.
own almonds still?
Absolutely.
You do.
Absolutely.
We're talking about almonds, and the first thing we're making is a little bit of dressing with a peach balsamic dressing with the salad that we got the greens from Stonewall Farms. Kathy brought them over to us. And I'm going to get that started by blending the peaches with the balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add a little bit of shallots into that too. We're just going to let that blend up nicely so the peaches are all broken down. We got all those flavors coming through. Some fresh shallots in there also. Ta-da! And a little bit of salt and pepper. I also put some sugar in here. And then what we're going to do is drizzle some olive oil in there. We're going to just let it drizzle in slowly but surely and create an emulsification. It's going to be a really nice, dark, rich, creamy, and airy vinaigrette. Fast forward. Press fast forward. I'll be done in a second. All right. We'll let that stop for a second. Finding the off button is always the hardest thing on these things, and taking the top off. So let's take a look at how that came out. And we'll go do a nice little taste. Don't worry, you'll get to taste in a minute. I'm not going to let you. Ooh, that's nice. Balsamic vinaigrette with a little bit of peach. Nice flavors right in there. So that's our beginning. What we're going to do to that is add that on top of our greens. And where did I put our salad plates? Talk a little bit about, oh wait, we forgot the most important thing. I wanted to put some mint in there too. All right, great thing about cooking, and cooking and interviewing is not the easiest thing in the world. I'm just going to tell you that. But great thing about cooking is you can add things on as you go along. It's always fun to say, oh, I could add that in, and why don't I? And you go ahead and do it. So we'll get that in, get some fresh mint in there. Perfect. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then you can just add as you go. You have all these great flavors to work with. What we're going to put, do you have a bag of those?
Sure.
All right. We'll get this. So we have the, look how dark that is. That's from the balsamic in there. We have the balsamic vinegar and the peaches in there. In the salad, we have a couple of different mixed greens. What type of mixed greens, you know, Kathy?
Just a mix of the
Just
loose leaf, yeah.
Loose leaf greens that you have there.
Yeah.
Now, as far as the tomatoes, it looks like you have a lot of different tomatoes. You have the golden, you have the orange.
A lot of heirloom.
A lot of heirloom tomatoes.
Yeah.
Now, is it something people could they could come by all the time? You have CSAs, and explain to people what a CSA is.
CSA is community supported agriculture, and the whole concept is that the person buys a share from the farm, and they're supporting the farm regardless of the crop. So, you know, you get an abundant crop, and the people get an abundant, you know, bag of produce that they go home with each week. And if some unfortunate weather happens, as we've experienced some with the rain this year,
right.
They've taken the risk with the farmer. And it's a great model. It certainly helps to support the local farms and keep them going. But for the most part, you're going home with amazing local produce that's very nutritious and organic.
So I'm also putting on some edible flowers on the plate that you brought in.
And we do have a farm stand as well that's open to the public from 9 in the morning until 7 at night, and it's honor system, which is really a great thing to be able to continue.
Only
so people,
in Keene, New Hampshire,
I know. So people can go in and make their own change and weigh their own produce and leave their money, which is
Right.
great.
So we just put a maple coconut roasted almonds on them, and with all the ingredients that we get locally, the thing I need to get you is a fork,
beautiful.
and
Yeah,
you have
that's
a nice salad. You have a nice little crunch to it. You're going to get a little sweetness, a little balsamicness to it. Balsamicness, that's definitely a culinary term.
Balsamic.
There you go.
Thank
So that's
you.
our first dish. Now while you're eating that, before we take too much of a break, what I want to do is get started on my crust for the fish that we're going to be making. That's our second course, okay? So what I have is some panko breadcrumb and some toasted almonds. I just toasted them lightly without adding any oils or anything to it. Just get a nice little brownness, bring out some of their natural oils, and just get them even more flavorful. I have that there. We're going to add a little salt and pepper. And I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic. Kind of season as we go, too. We want to keep everything seasoned. And then we're going to get this going. So what we're doing, you're going to eat your salad with your almonds on top. I'm going to grind up some almonds. And when we come back, we're going to be making a beautiful fish dish, talking a little bit more about True Nut and Stonewall Farm. And you don't want to go away because it just gets better from here. We'll be right back. Hi there, my name is Luca. It sounds like a song from the 80s, but hi, and we're on a culinary journey. I'm here with Steve and Kathy. Kathy, anyone ever call you Nancy in your days?
No,
No?
not that I recall.
All right, well, that's just a little inside joke between us here. We had the salad. What was the salad like? Did you enjoy it?
Phenomenal.
It's great.
You know, a little balsamic, the hint
Sweetness
of
of
the
the
peach.
peach is
Sweet.
nice, yeah.
Perfect. And we've used local ingredients, using Stonewall Farms greens, tomatoes. Forgot the carrots, so I ate them later on, so that's okay. So again, it's about having fun and grabbing stuff wherever you can. And we topped it with a little bit of coconut almond.
Yeah, great.
Tell everybody a little bit about that coconut almond, because that's pretty interesting, because we've kind of talked about what you've done before, but...
Well, that's our latest release. It just came out last week. We came up with maple coconut. We have 6 flavors now. It all started in my kitchen, just like you are here. I just started roasting almonds in my kitchen out of the house.
You have a kitchen in a flooring store?
Well, not, I mean,
Oh, okay.
like a regular kitchen out of my house, right? So started roasting them out of the house, and 75 pounds of almonds later, and 3 months later, came up with this original recipe.
That's
That was
amazing.
maple roasted, and just has taken off from there, all by accident. And it was mainly, again, to be philanthropic.
Right.
And so we have 2 local nonprofits that are involved with it, and it was Stonewall Farm was very inspirational to the beginning of the whole idea.
Now, everything has a maple feel to it first, and
Yes.
then other flavors, maple cinnamon,
Correct.
maple almond, maple basil.
Maple basil.
Which is, you had once told me was one of the favorites out there,
Yeah,
right?
we have a cult following of the maple basil. They're very, very good. They were your favorite.
My
aren't they?
favorite, yeah.
Well, what we're going to do is, which one do we want to garnish this dish with? What do you think?
I'm thinking the original.
The original?
Yeah, the original maple
So straight
roasted
maple?
might be,
Okay.
What do you think of the basil?
I was thinking basil or coconut.
Basil might be interesting.
Okay.
Why don't we do it with
well,
basil?
we'll give it a shot. All right, what we're going to do, and actually that's not a bad idea. What we're going to do is we had made this little mixture here that has almonds in it also, panko breadcrumbs, a little bit of garlic, some almonds, and we're going to just kind of lightly crust both sides of this. Just get a little bit of that crust on here. We floured first, and then we get the crust on. We're going to get it in our pan that we have heating up with some olive oil, and we're going to sear that. Really simple. This is a bassa. It's a light, flaky white fish that's also seasoned. If you like grouper or if you like sole, it's a little thicker than a sole, but if you like flounder, great fish to have. And it takes on the flavors around it, so we're going to let it kind of get all those flavors. Now, one of the things you have to be careful with, the reason why I actually put some breadcrumbs in this too, is one, I want the almonds to have flavor, but I don't want them to burn. They're high in fat and protein, and that could burn quickly. And you don't want that to happen, so you just want to get a sear on it, and then we're going to finish these off in the oven and then be able to make our sauce in the pan. So let's get these three in here. There we go. And we've got to check on our first one already. Just a light golden brown on either side, some nice color. And we'll let that last one kind of cook. Now one of the things is sometimes when you have the breadcrumbs, it absorbs the oil in the pan. So we're going to just put a little bit extra. And I use these silver diamond pans. They're really incredible. They hold the heat so well. You don't even have to have super high heat to get it cooking. But they heat up the oil so quickly that I'm able to just add some more in and cook. And they're a non-stick pan. So I can now use this to make our sauce in there. So it's really nice. So we're just going to get those kind of going in there. They'll be ready in a second. And then to create our sauce, what I'm using is a Framboise, which is a lambic beer. Framboise being raspberries, Belgian-style beer. You're going to get that raspberry and almond. I mean, they're meant to be together. You say those two words together, you know they're going to be meant to be together. I'm going to use a little bit of that, some shallots and garlic, and create a wonderful sauce. So I'm going to take the fish out of this pan, move it into here, and we'll get it into the oven. And we'll start creating our sauce. So Kathy, how influential is Stonewall Farm in helping actually other businesses together? You work together with other businesses also?
Well,
or is it?
We're definitely big on promoting other local farms. Even in our farm stand, we have at least 20 to 30 different products from other local farmers and producers to promote the whole mission behind people being grounded in local agriculture, where their food comes from, and all of what we stand for. So
You do something like that around the holidays too, around Thanksgiving. You do a farm fair.
Right, Thanksgiving Farm Fair, and the whole concept behind that is the weekend before Thanksgiving, you should be able to come to Stonewall Farm and get everything you would possibly need for your Thanksgiving table, including the turkey.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we have up to 30 vendors there selling great stuff. Yeah.
It's truly incredible to see those.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. So now what I have done here is shallots. You know, smell that raspberry. You can smell it right off of there. Here you go.
Maybe that's Steve's next almond, the
Yeah.
maple raspberry.
Maple raspberry.
You know what?
That's a good idea.
And we could call it the Luca almond. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, it was Kathy's idea for the maple cayenne.
It's got a nice
That
bite
was
to
her
it.
idea.
Yeah. And that's what is that what you're doing now? Is like people come up with ideas and you're like, ooh, I'm going to try that, I'm going to try that? And
Yeah, I have a lot of people throw ideas at me. I mean, a lot of them are just combinations of things that I come up with or people have suggested to
Right.
me, and we try different things. And I'm trying to keep them all natural, 100% natural, no oils, no preservatives, and so whatever I come up with to try to keep it all in line with that.
That's awesome. And the name of the almond's True Nut. What we're going to do is we're going to let this Framboise sauce cook down a little bit. I'm going to add some cream. We're going to get this fish in the oven. We're going to put those two together. We're going to garnish it with, the choice was maple basil?
That was our-
With some maple basil on top of some greens. You're going to love it. So don't go away. We'll be back in a culinary minute. Hey everybody, welcome back to our culinary journey. What I've done here is we've baked off the fish in the oven, and I'm creating a little bit of creamy raspberry sauce. I'm here with Steve and Kathy, and we're drinking a lot of wine, and I didn't have any, so we know where it all went. And what we're going to do is we've done a little bit of almonds on almond crust with some toasted almonds and a little bit of panko breadcrumb, and then we've cooked that off in the oven. And then we're going to finish it off by making this wonderful cream sauce, putting it over some greens, simple greens, because then we could do, I even kept a piece for myself. You see that? Let's get something right there, because I could see that flaking apart nicely. There we go. And then what I did is some simple greens on on that also. Here, we're going to need that for me. There you go. That's what happens when you can't find the plate. And we cook this down all the way to make this really tight, beautiful, light sauce. You don't want to over sauce when you're doing things like this. Just enough to get a little drizzle. And you get that raspberry. There you go. And then which ones?
Maple basil.
Maple basil. Let's put some almonds on there, even more almonds. And sometimes the garnishes is what it's all about, right? You didn't think that you'd be part of an entree.
I had no
Is
idea.
that right?
No
well, I didn't
idea.
either. We're going to find out right now.
We'll see if it is a good.
Whoa! About that? And maybe I should stop having the wine in between. So there you have it. So we've done an almond crusted fish. We've done some almonds on a salad using Stonewall Farm greens and tomatoes and some great stuff. And both of you are creating something great for the community and doing so much to help out. And I really appreciate it because I get to get the fruits of your labor and be able to use it on a show like this and even in my own kitchen. So I thank you both very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And if you definitely want more information, both being great companies, just go online, you'll find their information. If you're local and Keene, it's all about supporting local. So that's what the show is all about. So our culinary journey went nowhere, but went everywhere at the same time. And I thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on our next culinary journey. Enjoy, guys.
Raspberry is going to be amazing.
It is cooked. I hope that sauce is okay. I always say that.
Fish
Is it
is
good?
really mild, yeah.
Look at me. I'm just going to reach over.
Yeah.
Very.